The official narrative of Gallipoli often concludes with a remarkably successful evacuation. Yet that version of history is profoundly incomplete. What began as a strategic gambit in the summer of 1915 quickly devolved into a brutal ledger, etched not just in the Dardanelles, but across the globe. The August offensive on the Gallipoli Peninsula was presented as a critical push, with 5 to 15 Entente divisions pitted against 6 to 16 Ottoman divisions. By August 13th, the scale of the immediate cost was stark. British casualties alone reached approximately 4,000. On the Hellas front, the Ottomans suffered around 7,500 losses. Despite this staggering sacrifice, the primary objective remained unfulfilled. The Ottoman reserves were never diverted. The strategic failure was clear, but the human toll was only just beginning to unfold. The grim narrative deepened at ANZAC Cove. On August 6, the Sari Bair offensive saw Australian forces endure 2,277 casualties. The Ottoman cost was equally severe, with 1,520 dead, 4,700 wounded, 760 missing, and 134 prisoners. Just 2 days later, the Tunic Bear operation became a crucible for New Zealanders. 711 of their men becoming casualties among the 760 who briefly reached the summit. The wider Battle of Tunic Bear, a name now synonymous with desperate struggle, ultimately claimed approximately 18,000 ANZAC casualties, against Ottoman losses of roughly 9,200. These were not mere numbers, they were futures extinguished, families fractured, and a landscape forever scarred. The chaos was not confined to ANZAC. Southward, the Suvla Bay landings on August 6th and 7th immediately met fierce resistance, accumulating 1,700 British casualties by August 7th. The critical turning point arrived with Mustafa Kemal's Ottoman reinforcements on August 9th, which proved decisive, decimating British forces on Teke Tepe Ridge. The relentless fighting continued, with over 5,300 British casualties on Scimitar Hill by August 21st, and approximately 1,100 ANZAC losses at Hill 60 by August 29th. Through this immense bloodshed, Ottoman control of key positions was tenaciously maintained. The question lingers, what was truly gained, and at what devastating, hidden price? By January 9th, the Gallipoli campaign concluded. The evacuation of over 250,000 Allied troops was hailed as a tactical success, achieved with relatively light casualties, but this official conclusion masked a catastrophic true cost. The reality was a sacrifice of over 100,000 lives in total. The numbers are chilling, a stark counterpoint to any narrative of smooth withdrawal. 56,643 Ottomans, 34,071 British, 9,798 French, 8,709 Australians, 2,721 New Zealanders, 1,358 Indians, and 49 Newfoundlanders. This was the ultimate toll among over 800,000 combatants. The official story ends with the ships sailing away, but the true legacy of those who did not return, the overwhelming human cost, was swept aside. Yet, the patterns of attrition and unacknowledged sacrifice extended far beyond the Dardanelles. In distant Mesopotamia, a different tragedy unfolded. Lieutenant General Sir John Nixon's order for Major General Townsend to seize Kut al-Amara culminated in the British assault on Ctesiphon by November 22nd, a disaster that claimed roughly 40% casualties on the first trench alone, followed by 4,600 British losses the very next day. This devastating toll forced a retreat towards Kut al-Amara, commencing November 25th. Amidst these crushing defeats, a rare beacon of success emerged in the Persian campaign. Russian forces under General Nikolai Baratov achieved a decisive victory near Elki on November 25th, routing approximately 900 gendarmes and 1,200 mercenaries. They captured Hamadan by December 3rd and Sava by December 7th, with a separate detachment securing the southern Iranian-Afghan border by December 9th. By late December, a new pro-Entente cabinet was appointed, and Brigadier General Sir Percy Sykes established the South Persia Rifles, ultimately thwarting Ottoman and German efforts to foment civil war. It was a fleeting success, overshadowed by the vast, silent cost of so many other fronts. We are left with a quiet question: how many other stories of immense, silent sacrifice remain buried, waiting to be unearthed, far beyond the official accounts we've been told?